Well, hi YouTube, quick little video today about a new ham radio antenna I just put on the Jeep. So far everybody's enjoying it, including the people I've been talking to on the radio. So I want to put a quick little video out there and just let you guys know how well it's working for me and that I do suggest it. We'll give you a look at exactly what the antenna looks like, but let's start on the actual inside of the Jeep. I am inside a 2006 Jeep Liberty. Yeah, it's getting a little old, it has some miles on it. It even has its little flaws that are starting, but for the most part it's still running good, so we're still using it. The radio we are using today is a Baofeng UV5R. It's my first ham radio. I'm a fairly new licensed tech, and I wanted to get into this hobby without spending too much money right from the beginning. The radio cost me $37 with free shipping on Amazon, and if you're looking for your first radio, I definitely do recommend it for people out there. It has a lot of features, and for the price, you can't argue with its performance. However, the motivation for the external antenna came from the stock rubber duck. And ham radio, don't ask me why, but antennas that come with your radio are called rubber ducks.
K7LWA, N6NBN.
And we'll turn them down for a minute, but you do know that the radio works. Right now we're listening to a Seattle repeater, which is about 15 miles away. Now, the rubber duck on this, as far as rubber ducks go, it really is quite a good rubber duck. This radio is it's dual band, it's 2-meter 440, and this little antenna, for what it is, it operates on 2-meter and 440 quite well. I've hit repeaters over my entire county on this, as well as some Seattle repeaters. My audio quality isn't always the greatest on the other end, but I am able to have a full conversation without much discomfort to the other party. In comparison, if you look at what my passenger side of the Jeep looks like, I wonder what I do for work, huh? This right here is my take-home duty radio, and it also has a rubber duck. Now this radio, both radios push out 5 watts, but the Baofeng definitely wins hands down. It's nice that my company does give me a take-home radio and a duty radio, but this rubber duck isn't that good. I have to pretty much be right downtown with a line of sight to the repeater to get out and talk. Good thing the ambulance has a much better radio inside of it. Now if we go back to the Baofeng UV5R, even with the rubber duck, I hit repeaters all over the county as well as Seattle. But a rubber duck inside a vehicle still has its limitations. So after doing some online research and watching some other reviews, I decided to go with the Browning BR180 2-meter 440 meter antenna. It's rated to have a 3 dB gain on 2 meters and a 6 dB gain on 440. Now as a newly licensed tech, I'm spending most of my time on local repeaters. So for me, a simple 2-meter 440 antenna is exactly what I'm looking for. Another reason I went with the Browning BR180 is because of its price point. I did have to get the antenna, mag mount, and adapter we'll talk about in just a minute all separately, but all three pieces came in right under $50. So we have a 2-meter 440 mag mount antenna for a vehicle and a 2-meter 440 ham radio, all for under $100. It's a great way to get into ham radio if you're on a budget or a beginner like me. So here's that adapter I was talking to you about. As you can see, the coax cable is a lot bigger than what I actually have room for on my radio. And the Baofeng UV5R is a little bit different when it comes to the antenna. The antenna is a SMA female, which is a little bit backwards from a lot of other radios. So this is a coax cable adapter that takes the signal down into an SMA female. It was about $6 on Amazon. I do have Amazon Prime, so I don't pay for shipping. Just keep that in mind. This antenna I've had for a couple days. It has done very, very well. Everybody has enjoyed it that I've talked to. They said that I do sound much clearer, much better. I have noticed a little bit increased range with the dB. I can't prove it, but I have noticed a difference. And I certainly do seem to be more enjoyable to the people I'm talking to. Those are all good things. I keep my radio just kind of right there in my cup holder, and I have my external boom mic sitting right next to it. So when I'm driving, I can just pick it up, grab it, talk, set it down. My volume also comes out of my mic, so depending on what I'm doing, I can maybe clip that to my shirt, whatever I'm doing, and just be closer to the audio. So this is what it looks like inside the Jeep, and we'll actually show you what it looks like on the outside of the Jeep. Again, for under $100, a radio and a antenna system, I'm not complaining. Ham radio is an expensive hobby, but if you look around and do a little bit of research, you can get into it without spending much. Okay, this is the actual antenna. As you can see, it's a Browning. It is 3 feet long, which on top of a tall Jeep, it looks a little bit longer, but it's not. It's only 3 feet. And there's the MAG mount. Have the coax cable going right into the door, which I know it's kind of the white trash way to do this, but it works. And then I run the coax cable all the way down into the door panel, down along the floorboard, and then it comes back up into my center console. These are the actual pieces that I bought from Amazon. The antenna itself, the model BR180. This is the MAG mount that I bought. I will note that there is no paperwork disclaiming how fast you can go with it. I would have thought they would have included that information, but they did not. I've had the Jeep going 50, 60 miles an hour, and I have not had any problems. The antenna feels relatively secure, but I wouldn't overly push it going on the interstate. And that is the exact adapter I got for the radio. So again, I think if you're a beginner entry level and you want to get into it, this is a great way to go. It definitely does do a lot better than the Rubber Duck, but there are better but more expensive options out there. So again, much better than my Rubber Duck, and for the price, I'm more than happy with it. Any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer your questions as I'm still learning the system myself. Otherwise, I'll say 73. Talk to everybody later.